All right, thank you. Give yourselves a big hand. So when you're thinking about attitude of gratitude, and we're talking about all these powerful emotions, my wife recently emailed me a story, and I would love to share it with you. It impacted me tremendously. So with your permission, I'll do that. John is the kind of guy you love to hate. He is always in a good mood and always has something positive to say. When someone would ask him how he was doing, he would reply, "If I were any better, I'd be twins." He was a natural motivator. If an employee was having a bad day, John was telling the employee how to look on the positive side of the situation. Seeing this style really made me curious. So one day I went up to him and I asked him, "I just don't get it. You can't be positive all the time. How do you do it?" He replied, "Each morning I wake up and I say to myself, you have two choices today. You can be in a good mood or you can be in a bad mood. I choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim or I can choose to learn from it. I choose to learn from it. Every time someone comes up to me complaining, I choose to accept their complaining, or I can point out the positive side of life. I choose the positive side of life." "Yeah, right. It's not that easy," I protested. "Yes, it is," he said. "Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation comes down to a choice. You choose how to react to situations. You choose how people affect your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or a bad mood. The bottom line, it's your choice how you want to live your life." I reflected on what he said, and soon after I left the tower industry to start my own business. We lost touch, but I often thought about him when I made a choice about life instead of reacting to it. Several years later, I heard that he was involved in a serious accident, falling 60 feet from a communications tower. After 18 hours of surgery, weeks of intensive care, he was released from the hospital with rods placed in his back. I saw him 6 months after the accident. When I asked him how he was doing, he replied, "If I were any better, I'd be twins." "You want to see my scars?" I declined to see his wounds, but I asked him what has gone through his mind when the accident took place. "The first thing that went through my mind was the well-being of my soon-to-be-born daughter," he replied. "Then, as I lay on the ground, I remembered I had two choices. I could choose to live, or I could choose to die. I chose to live." "Weren't you scared? Did you lose consciousness?" I asked. He continued, "The paramedics were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the ER, I saw the expressions on their faces. I got really scared. In their eyes, I read that they were saying I was a dead man. I knew I needed to take action. So what did you do?" I asked. "Well, there was a big nurse shouting questions at me," John said. "She asked if I was allergic to anything." "Yes," I replied. The doctors and nurses stopped working and they waited for my reply. I took a deep breath and yelled, "Gravity." Over their laughter, I told them, "I am choosing to live. Operate on me as if I were alive, not dead." He lived thanks to the skill of his doctors, but also because of his amazing attitude. I learned from him that very day that you have a choice in life. Attitude, after all, is everything. I thought that was an amazing story. That deserves a big hand. See, everything that you need to succeed is already within inside you. The only thing that is lacking is your awareness of the abundance that surrounds you. And it's just waiting for your acceptance. And if you look around you, everything in our physical world, everything that's in front of us, is only a manifestation of what took place in your mind. You know, Mr. Warren was talking about the Wright brothers and Edison with the light bulb. So think about that. Everything in our physical world was a manifestation that took place in someone's mind or in your mind. Your results are an expression of your level of awareness. I think there's 3 levels of awareness. Understanding. You know, think about and ask yourself this question. what have been some beliefs, decisions, thoughts, emotions, actions that led to my results so far in my life? And they could be good or bad, but you have to understand them. Well, these emotions and these thoughts led to this. And these emotions and these thoughts led to this, whether it be success or failures. So your first level is understanding, which you're doing right now. Whether it's something that you're learning for the first time or something you heard all your life, but you haven't conditioned it yet into your mind. Next one is disassociation. Once you understand that there's certain limited beliefs, certain limited thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, people, situations, then you have to know that you have to disassociate yourself from those things, because they're going to hold you back from reaching your personal full potential. Now, whether it be in health, in business, in relationships, doesn't matter, right? And the last one is recondition. Reprogram. Some of you guys are saying, well, what do you mean by recondition or reprogram? Well, I call it recondition your mind with mind muscle. Now, your mind is the most powerful muscle that we all possess. It's the most powerful muscle that we have. Yet, we were never taught how to think, how to build it, how to exercise it. You can go from elementary school to middle school to high school to college to advanced degrees, but no one really sat there and taught you how to exercise, condition, and strengthen your mind. Mind is like a muscle that when a weight trainer, someone who lifts weights, they got to lift the weights, and they're building a what? Muscle. But what exercises do you guys have to build your mind muscle? See, I think when you attach the words I am to something, you become it. And that's just one part of, we call it our mind muscle exercises, and that's also going to be in our book that's coming out this spring. See, you think of, who's that guy? He said, I am the greatest. Muhammad Ali did not just train physically in the ring to be a champion. He developed his mind every day. You watch, if you watch footage of him, he yelled out, I'm the greatest in the world. He developed his mind muscle. So you might think, well, okay, well, what does that mean? My daughter's 21 months old. She already has 3 mind muscle exercises that she does. She says, I say, Kiana, mind muscle exercises. She says, Daddy, I am happy. I am focused. I am grateful. Grateful we just got about last week. I am grateful. Right? See, I tell her to have a hand gesture for each one. I'm conditioning my daughter now of how I want her to think. See, we talked about earlier, it's not just the words you say, but it's how you say it, and it's your body language. So when I do mine every single morning, on top of some other things that I do, I have a hand gesture and emotion for every single one. I am loving. I am thankful. I am grateful. I'm appreciative. I am passionate. I am focused. I'm determined. I'm persistent. I am confident. I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm a money magnet. I am wealthy. I'm financially free. I'm financially abundant. And I am fun.